All right. Okay. So the recording has begun. So GM everybody. Thank you so much for joining today's call. Thank you for coming on board. Today we'll be talking about growth marketing and paid campaigns. We'll teach you on the growth hacking techniques for key projects. Running paid ads on platforms like X, referral and airdrop strategies for user acquisition. Basically everything you need to know as a Web3 marketer, as a successful Web3 marketer. And well, thankfully, Toria is here. Toria is, well, the person that recommended. Oh my god, my phone is off now. Yeah, Toria recommended me, or recommended her to me, and I had to look up her profile. Please, can you unmute if you are hearing me? Just. My phone doing this now. It's too early for
Yeah, I
me.
can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So, yeah, she is an all-rounder in marketing. Like according to Kay told me she's a genius. Well, I didn't want to start shaking tables on X, so I just said let me hold my cool. Right, but I've looked through her work, LinkedIn and X, and she's the best, right? She's doing really well in the space. So I'm so grateful that she is on this space. Thank you, Toria, for accepting our requests. I'm so grateful. I don't even take it for granted. Right, thank you for clearing your schedule to come speak to us. And the students will join in shortly. We've notified them since last week that we'll be having this session and they'll be on board. So, guys, I would love you to listen attentively and, ask your questions where you can. Be open, be free, and I'm very sure she's going to do her best to do justice to this session. Thank you so much, Toria. We don't take this for granted. Thank you so much. So, you have the floor now. Thank you.
Okay, GM everyone. Today we'll be talking about. I think the call is echoing. Can you just okay? Good. We'll be talking about Web3 growth marketing and paid campaigns, right? That's what we're talking about today. Okay. First of all, I'll be starting with the definition of what is Web3 growth marketing. Hope I'm audible. Please just react or mute and speak if I'm audible, please. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
All right, all right. Now, Web3 growth marketing is the strategic use of both organic and paid tactics to attract, to retain, and to convert Web3 users using data, token incentive, narrative, and community engagement. Now, I'm going to take that again. Web3 growth marketing is the strategic use of both organic and paid tactics. Okay, I believe we know what organic and inorganic ways of marketing is. Okay, so I'll just move on. It is the strategic use of both organic and paid tactics to attract, to retain, and convert Web3 users using data, token incentives, narrative, and community engagement. Now, Web3 marketing is actually different from Web2 marketing in a number of ways because in Web2 marketing rather, you may be marketing to get user acquisition, okay? But in Web3 marketing, the growth there involves community building, not just people using your product, but building a community. In Web3, the users are decentralized, they are anonymous, they are skeptical. But in Web2 marketing, they are not decentralized, they are centralized. They know each other, but you know how Web3 works anonymously and it is decentralized. Now, in Web3 marketing, you are marketing to wallets, not just emails. In Web2 marketing, you can see something like it's easy for you to get emails. It's easy for you to get the phone numbers of your users, and other KYC details. But in Web3 marketing, it is literally just maybe X accounts, wallets, and other decentralized stuff. Okay, so those are like the key differences between Web2 marketing and Web3 marketing. Please, if at any point you don't understand anything, just maybe type in the message, or just raise up your hand and you can ask your question. Okay. Also, in Web3 marketing, we it is tied to tokens and incentives most of the time. Now, I want to ask a question. Have any of you joined a project because of an airdrop before? Maybe a testnet airdrop or retroactive airdrop or anything at all. Have any of you joined a project because of that? I believe the answer will be yes. Like an example is Kaito. Now, Kaito is a project that helps other projects market their project using mind shares. They call it YAP. That is actually a very genius marketing strategy where you get other people to yap about your project to gain mind share. Now, why are people being onboarded into Kaito? It is because there was an incentive attached to it. You believe that the very first time Kaito started, the number of people that started when Kaito started and the number of people now, there is like a very great difference. Let's not even go far. When Kaito started their promotion, their strategy of yapping, and when they did their very first airdrop, you would agree with me that the people that joined after that airdrop, we are way more, like maybe times 10, than people that started when they just started out. Why? Because it is tied, they saw that it was now tied to an incentive. So Web3 marketing, the users most of the times are drawn to projects that are likely to incentivize them. Okay, so I wanted to just explain that. Now, in Web3 marketing, most times we are not measuring the number of users or the number of downloads, but rather we are trying to measure the TVL. We're trying to check, okay, what is the increase in TVL in the past 30 days? I believe we know what TVL means, right? Or
Yeah.
what is the volume? What is the deposits that has been made? What is the transaction, number of transactions that has been done on chain on this particular product or whatever in the past 30 days, 7 days, 24 hours? That is what we measure, not okay, how many people downloaded our apps. We are not interested in how many people. Okay, I am an affiliate for Bybit and Mexi. Now, what they check is not how many downloads. What they are checking from me is, oh, how many people, what are the volume that you have brought in? The people that have maybe signed up through your link, what is the volume they have brought in? Even, let's say we have 1,000 people signed up through my affiliate link, and then I just have maybe just 1,000 transaction or $1,000 worth of volume per day. You notice that they are not interested in the number of people that are signed up, but the volume they are bringing in per day. Now you see how that differs from Web2 marketing. The successes, the metrics we measure in Web3 is way different. I've worked with various projects. I've worked with maybe a liquid staking protocol. I've worked with an AI agent. I've worked with a DEX. Talking about a liquid staking protocol now, what they literally do is that people get to stake on their platform, and then they get a liquid staking token, which they can use to do their whatever DeFi activities, maybe on the app or somewhere else. Now, what we use to track marketing success is the TVL and the volume we bring in per a particular period of time. So that is what makes Web3 marketing different. And these are the important metrics to track in Web3. So I'll be talking about the growth hacking strategies in Web3. Growth hacking strategies in Web3. So there are different ways you can actually market a particular product or a particular project in the Web3 space. Now, I'm not talking about meme projects. I'm not even going to talk about memes and whatnot. I'll be focusing on utility projects, projects that have use cases. There are different stages of marketing. There are different stages of marketing in a particular project. We have the startup phase. When a project is starting up and when a project has already been established, it is not the same strategy you use when marketing both projects. Okay, when I've worked with projects, with startup projects, and I've worked with projects that are already established, so I know this firsthand. Say, for instance, you want to work with a startup. There are certain things you will not do because for a startup, the first thing you have to note is that nobody knows this project. So the goals or the objective of a startup project is totally different from a project like Kaito that everybody knows. You cannot say, okay, they are struggling with visibility or awareness. That's it's way far from it. But a startup project now, nobody has heard about them. So the first and foremost thing is visibility and awareness for people to know that, okay, oh, this project actually exists. That will be your target for startups. Then for an already established project, what you'll be looking at would be, okay, how do we increase the TVL? How do we increase the users? How do we increase the volume? Based on what type of project it is. Now, mind you, we have different type of projects in Web2. You will agree with me that each project have their own specific goals or needs. For instance, now for a centralized exchange or a decentralized exchange, what they're interested in is the volume, how many people or how much volume they can rake in per day, volume from trading activities of the actual users of that product. Now, it is different from an AI agent, maybe a trading AI agent. What they'll be looking for won't be volume, because you cannot trade. Maybe they don't have a trading function on their platform. Probably it is, let's say, the AI agent is like a chat box, like ChatGPT. So what you use to measure it is how many people, how many queries are being asked on that chat box. Now you're seeing that each project, they have specific needs and goals. So first thing you want to do is you want to check what stage is this project at. For you to say, okay, I want to grow this project, you want to know what stage is this project at. You want to determine the stage. Then from there, you would know the right strategies to use. The second thing is you want to determine the type of project it is and the metrics that are most important to that specific type of project. One thing you want to notice, no two projects are the same. No two projects are the same. So you want to tailor your strategies to the goals of the project, the target audience of the project. Okay? So I'll mention random strategies that you can use. Your own part is to determine if this strategy will work for this type of project. Okay, so we should know about Zilly, Galaxy, or Galzi, or whatever they pronounce that. I don't know. We have lots of protocols that what they do mainly is to run campaigns, social campaigns for projects like Zilly, Quest, right? Now, for this type of strategy, Quest and missions, maybe it could be to follow a page, it could be to connect your wallet, it could be to join Discord, follow their socials, perform a transaction, invite people. Okay, this is also a strategy that can be used for growth hacking process. Okay, and then this particular type of I don't know if any one of us have used Zilly before, or Gauzy. You will notice that most times they don't really reward users like directly with a particular amount. They reward with SPs, with points, with NFTs. Sometimes there may be a monetary reward attached to it or incentive attached to it, but it is mostly SPs, points, which probably may lead to you getting a token allocation on the day of their TG or something. So this is a strategy that can be used, but it is up to you to determine, okay, when is the right time to use this strategy? Also, timing matters when using marketing strategies. You want to know the exact timeline for you to use for a particular strategy. Also, the market condition determines the strategy you would use when creating your growth hacking strategies. Okay, then the next we have, I don't know if I'll be mentioning some tools. I really don't know if we are familiar with these tools or not, but then I'll just try to see how I can explain. Um, just take note of it. Cookie 3 DAO. We must have heard of it. Just search. I think their username is cookie3 underscore com on Twitter. Okay. This particular tool is also a marketing tool that you can use to track um wallets. You can use to track mind shares. You can use to track token growth and whatnot. A similar one is Kaito too. Kaito can help you track mind shares of a project, can also help you track projects. Now, these marketing tools, you can use it when tracking or when you are targeting a particular type of audience or a particular type of project. Now, some projects, okay, marketing, right? Marketing also involves partnership. Partnership is a key factor of marketing, and aligning with the right partner helps, I don't know, it makes or mar your marketing process. The partner you choose to partner with, you know, makes or mar your marketing progress. So these tools, Cookie Tree, Kaito, Spindle, Addressable, it can help you track whether it's influencers you want to partner with or projects you want to partner with. It can help you. Remember when I was defining growth marketing, I mentioned data. Data is a very key factor. If you're a marketer, you need to understand data. Like when I mean data, on-chain data, you need to be versatile on-chain. You need to be able to read these data. So these tools I mentioned will show you real data. It will show you real data that you can use to make informed decision. Then the next one is meme marketing or narrative hijacking. When I don't know if we saw what's this 4 challenge back then. Was it last month? Yes, there was this 4 challenge on City where projects started creating their logos as a four. That was a narrative. And City, people created a token out of it. Digen folks created a token out of it. That is an example of narrative hijacking. So whenever a narrative like that comes up, I utilized it though for the projects I was working with, and that was like one of the highest impressions we got and engagement we got just by hijacking a narrative that was already existing. Now it works two ways. Is either you start the narrative or you hijack an already existing narrative. So you want to note that down. This is why marketers need to be very sensitive and attentive to whatever is happening on the timeline. Like per day, you need to be active. There are certain accounts you need to follow. There are certain groups you need to be in as a marketer. If you really want to grow whatever projects that you are working with. Okay, the last one was BTC touching 100K. BTC touching 100K is a narrative. Everybody has been waiting for the time that BTC will touch 100K. So immediately it touches that 100K. If you are among the first people to tweet about it, to notice it and tweet about it, because I mean it is Web3. So whether your project is a analysis tool, or it's a wallet, or it's a DEX, tweeting about that point, that BTC at 100K, is going to fetch in impressions for you because it is a trend. That is what everybody will literally be talking about. As a marketer, you want to be able to see something and know that, this thing is going to start a trend, and you want to capitalize on it before it goes ballistic on the timeline. So the fourth challenge is an example. The Gib is it Ghibli? I don't know. I don't know if you understand what I mean. That's cartoon animation, something that Grok started creating. So that too is a trend that a narrative you can hijack. As a marketer, as a growth marketer, so you can capitalize on it also. So this is why it is important for you to be attentive to what is happening in the market. When Trump signed off on tariffs for China, that is also a narrative because it has a direct impact on the crypto market. I've given you examples. So what that can do for you is that it helps with visibility. That is one thing to do, because when you hop on a trend, people will get to see your project, and because of that, maybe let's say on Twitter now, it will lead to profile visits, which will also lead to new followers and new users. You see how the process is. So that's for the narrative. Let me check if there is any message. Okay, none. All right, let's continue. Then I say meme marketing. Meme marketing is also a growth hacking technique that we use in the Web3 space. I mean, the space is a meme. The space is a joke, literally, right? Because things are happening. Was it not recently, last week, when there's this guy, why have I forgotten his name and his project? He forged his debts because the project he launched did not do well or something like that. Can't remember his name now. This was just last week it happened. That's also a narrative you can create a meme out of it, literally. Meme and narrative, they really work hand in hand because they are similar. Okay. um Another way is through gamified onboarding process of your community members. That's why we have Discord, we have Telegram for things like this. I don't know if you have seen this strategy of people typing on Telegram to gain SPs or to gain points. Then after maybe a particular period of time, a particular number, you get to move from level 1 to level 2. When you keep typing, you get to move from level 2 to level 3 to level 4, that kind of thing. That is you gamifying the whole process. It makes it more interesting. The users may not even feel like, oh, they are actually doing work, but it is you're gamifying the process for them. It may not bring in results for you directly, but it gets to keep the Discord community engaged. It gets to, you know, keep people looking at your project, okay, because of what you're doing. Also, sometimes we have this Discord games. This is also gamifying the process for the community members. We have this Discord games where maybe every week, maybe every Friday, you get to create a game on the Discord and people get to play and then maybe get to win, and you get to give them maybe NFTs, or you get to give them some incentive. It doesn't have to be much, maybe $5, $10 kind of incentive. That is also a strategy for growth and keeping an engaged community. A community where everywhere is just quiet. People will just get tired and forget about your product. Now, remember what I said while starting out, that in Web3, community growth is what we prioritize than user acquisition. So the community growth is what we prioritize than user acquisition. Okay. Um. Okay. Let's talk about paid Web3 um strategies, paid ads for Web3 projects. So I don't know if we know about this, but there are certain things you cannot advertise. We have Facebook ads, we have Google ads, we have YouTube, we have Snapchat ads, literally, we have TikTok ads, we have in-app ads. Okay, let me just explain what in-app ads is in case most of us don't. In-app ads is literally running an ad that will show on apps. I don't know if we have been on a particular app before. It doesn't have to be a social media app. Maybe a game or an app you downloaded, and all of a sudden you are seeing an ad on that app. That is what we call in-app ads. Okay, so these ads, there are certain crypto terms that cannot be allowed on these platforms. Literally, if you want to run ads on any platform, they have policies, ad policies, that if you put out something, expect Facebook on is just crazy. I don't know which one is the craziest between Facebook and Google. If you literally put out something like crypto or make money or all of these trigger words, your ads will not run. Highest, if you try to force it, they will ban your ad account and you have nothing to do. you know so running ads for Web3 projects can be tricky, because I've done this a lot for projects and I know how to rack my head to try to bypass those languages, those trigger words, so that the ads will literally run. So there are certain things that this algorithm for ads will not allow you to put out. There are certain trigger words they will not allow you to put out. So it is now your job to understand these ad policies, read it up. Facebook, Twitter, they are out there. Just search for it, read it up, so that when you are trying to run a marketing campaign, a paid marketing campaign on any of these platforms, you would know exactly what to do. I've literally created a video, like a full video, and I think I missed something. When I mean a video, I mean it was not a motion video, like somebody sitting and talking. And only for me to try running the ad, and they told me the ad cannot run. Like, I wanted to run mad, because I literally went out, directed the video. Was it We took a couple of times to shoot that particular video. They edited it, and I'm trying to run ads. They're telling me no. It was crazy. We literally just posted it like that without running ads. We had to create something else. So to avoid things like this, you need to understand the ad policies in these platforms. Okay, so um let's go through the platforms. We have Twitter. So Twitter is good for virality and awareness. I don't know if most of us are active on Twitter. There is this particular ad that is annoying. This big banji something. I think people are complaining about it or thereabouts. So Twitter ads is actually simple, it's straightforward, straight to the point. It is good for virality, for awareness. And the good part of it is that most of the crypto folks are on Twitter. So you can target crypto people with hashtag, you know, and all of that. But then, like I said, you need to avoid using certain words when running ads. The funny thing is, you can post this thing normally on your socials. You can post certain things normally on your socials. But if you want to now run ads with it, they will not allow it. So Twitter is best because it has crypto audience already on it. Then we have Reddit. Reddit is also a place you can run ads on. um Most times it blends in like a normal post. People may not even see that it's ads, so it's a good place for running ads. Then we have Google, we have YouTube. On Google or YouTube, the ads you can run there, the best ads you can run there would be educational type of ads, where maybe on it maybe a video where somebody is talking, or maybe emotion or whatever, or animation, but it is educational, long form videos or whatnot, or short form, depending on what your goal is. Then you can also run ads on like your website. But then, like I said, you still need to take note of the trigger words so you don't add it there. Then Facebook, you can run ads on Facebook too, but I think Facebook is more strict. I think it is more strict. Although we have lots of users on Facebook, but they are not crypto Web3 related. And I don't know, Facebook artists will always bring in this set of people. I don't know why. But Facebook ads is effective because now this is why Facebook ads is most effective than the rest ads. It allows for targeting. Like you can literally have a full course on Facebook ads just on targeting, just targeting how to target the right audience. You can literally just have it as a full course because it's like to target. You can target down to phone type of phone people use. You can target down to if they are educated. You can target down to countries, obviously. You can target, like, it is well targeted. You can combine different targets of people when running Facebook. That's why it's one of the best to use. And in all of this, running ads, paid ads on socials. Okay, somebody hands raised. Caleb.
Okay. Yeah, it's me. Please, the attendance is on the call chat. Please, the participants should fill it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, back to the ads. You can literally choose how much you want to spend. That's what we call ad spend. You can choose how much you want to spend when running this ad for as low as even I think $2 or so. You can run ads for as low as $2. But obviously, the more the ad spend, the if more effective the ad will be for you. Now, let's talk about ad creative. Ad creatives are the things you use to run this ads, like the ad copy, the ad visual. It could be a video, it could be a graphics or a picture or something. So while running, before you run ads, like you want to ensure that your copy, your hook, your CTA, then your visuals, video or graphics are on point, because people, you have to capture people's attention. I mean, you need to capture people's attention because attention span right now is like very, very low for some people. So you want to be able to use a hook. Now, there are different types of hook. The hook is not just on the first line of words that you use, right? The hook is also in the visuals you are using. It could be the graphics or video. In the video, the hook is the first thing you say or the first thing that is being said in that video. When people are scrolling up and they're scrolling and maybe they're it's on auto play or something. So the first thing you say has to be something that will make people to stop while scrolling. It should be something that will be able to make people to scroll. If you're using a visual, it should be something that should be able to make people to stop. If not, your ad will just be a waste. You literally maybe get link clicks and not get your goal. Okay. So another type of paid ads would be influencer ads or KOLs or ambassador-ish category, where you tend to bring in influencers or KOLs or ambassadors to talk about your project or your product. Okay. Another category would be thread contest, meme contest, or whatever contest. Um, we have different platform now that you can put out this contest, like Super Team, and we have Scribble and whatnot, that you can put out this contest. So that is also another category of paid advertisement for Web3 projects. Now, like I said earlier, for any strategy you want to use, you want to ensure that it is beneficial to the project at that particular point in time. There are certain stages that you will use trade contests. There are certain stages that you will bring in influencers. Like for a startup, you don't need an influencer to push your project for a startup. There is a reason for that. Because if you use an influencer to push in your project just when starting out, you agree with me that influencers which they are short-lived, except you are building a long-term contract with them, maybe a 3 to 6 month contract, then that is good. But then if you're just paying one influencer to just talk about your project, people, it gets hyped and then it dies down. You see, it is not sustainable. For any, what I used to advise is, whenever you want to create a marketing strategy, I wish I can I wish I can show you guys one of my documents, but no, that is premium alpha. So whenever you're creating a marketing strategy, it is very serious. So like it is a serious thing, because it it literally has a, it should have a roadmap. Like when I mean a roadmap with timeline, with deliverables, expectations, and KPIs to measure. This should be included in your marketing document if you are creating any strategies at all. So I don't know, for me, the thinking process for creating marketing, it is not something I do in one day. Like I literally have to think, research, study other marketing, successful marketing campaigns, and then test, back tests, and then create something out of the whole research work and everything. Then I have to set a timeline. I have to understand the stage the project is at. Okay, is it good for us to invite influencers now, or should we go for ambassadors, or should we go for KOLs? There are three different things: KOLs, ambassador, and influencers. There are three different things. You need to know when to bring what. Okay. There's a project I'm working with currently. We ran a campaign last week, and for that particular campaign, we brought in two influencers to quote tweet what we were doing. That it was a short time something, and it delivered results for us for that short time. Do you get? So you need to understand, okay, what we work now. You need to have a timeline. You need to have a roadmap. When I mean a roadmap, okay, from this strategy, then we move to the next strategy. Okay, so the time, you also set a time. Okay, we're doing this particular strategy for 2 weeks. Then we're moving to the next strategy after we've gotten this result. You also need to check, okay, what could possibly go wrong in case this thing does not work. What do I do next? Okay, you need to also think about that and factor that in when planning your marketing strategy. Okay, then the next sub topic would be okay, referrals, reward, airdrop strategies. Referral, reward, airdrop strategies. It is still the same thing we're talking about. You need to know when to use what. Not all projects need referrals. Not all projects need airdrops, literally. Yes. In short, not all projects are launching tokens, so obviously. Some are product based. They are just only product based. That Web3 projects are just products. Some are services. So you need to know when to factor in referrals. Okay. Now, what referral will do for you is you are incentivizing your existing users by telling them that if they bring in new people, they get so percentage or reward for bringing in people. So you're using your existing users to bring in new users. That's what referrals does for you. Why airdrops? Airdrops will bring in farmers. Like they will literally just bring in people that want to benefit. They may not necessarily want to use your product. They're not even interested in your product, but they are using it because of the airdrop you have promised. So even if you want to create an airdrop strategy, you need to create it in a way that will enable the users that are coming to use your product to use it and generate, maybe, for instance, volume or whatever, while using that product. okay, depending on the goals of that project. um so referral system, there are different ways to do referrals. We could have a leaderboard whereby everybody is seeing what everybody is doing. So that will bring in competitive spirit, and you know, you're referring people and you're seeing, this person has referred 20 people. You now, maybe you're the downline, want to even do more to beat. So the thing is, this is psychology, guys. Like, marketing is just psychology. You will not even know, like, the people that are being influenced will not know that they are being influenced by that factor. But then, just seeing a leaderboard, a project that may be running a referral project program without a leaderboard, and a project that is running a referral program with a leaderboard, do you know who will get more results? The project that is running that program with a leaderboard, visible leaderboard. Do you get? Because as humans, we want to compete. It is normal. Like, we just want to be the best, literally. So you're saying that, you are down here, you will be like, let me see how I can beat the next person and beat the next person. Before you know it, now that thing, the user, right, is thinking about beating the next person, but it is doing something for the product or the project. It is increasing the user acquisition. Now you see what it is doing. So there is also psychology behind marketing. And as a marketer, you need to understand psychology. What will make you, maybe even start from yourself. Okay, what will make me use this product? What will make me stop scrolling? You have to ask yourself some certain questions, because you are also a human. To understand the next human, start from understanding yourself. Do you get? Okay, then mm, airdrops, like I said, you want to be able to use certain airdrops that certain airdrop strategies that will make people get, you know, get the project to achieve the goal they want to achieve, and not just maybe a one time something, just do something and I'll give you airdrop. No, you want to make it somehow long term. Maybe okay, like there's this app, this is Zero also, where you get to log in every day and claim SPs or claim something. You see, that is something you have to do every day. It is a strategy. Oh, it is not just for fancy. You logging in every day, it means you have to open the app every day. And sometimes they'll tell you, if you miss 2 days or 3 days, you will start from the starting. That is just strategy to get the user to be attached to that app, so that they will always want to open it, so that they don't mix what they are getting from that particular action that they are doing. So it could be what I just said. It could be staking or swapping. Maybe you have to make one swap every day. You was it, is it, what was it, is it penguin that dropped people? It was based on, is it trading? If you have traded with, is it, I forgot, is it Phantom or so? If you have traded with a particular, maybe swapped with a particular, is it Jupiter or so? I can't remember exactly what the criteria was, but you can imagine something like that, because it's they know what they are doing. So it's a strategy. You get? um Sometimes it will be stake or lock your tokens for a period of time to be eligible. You see, when you stake a token, it is generating volume for the project long term. So the next one may be based on on-chain activities. How many trades have you taken on this particular app? How many queries have you asked this AI? Stuff like that. So that's what you want to do when creating an airdrop strategy for any project. Because as a marketer, this is what you do. Like, Jesus, marketing is not easy in Web3. Oh. It's not easy, because you're literally in charge of literally everything. Like, you're in charge of everything. You're in charge of thinking. You're in charge of not just thinking. You're in charge of executing. You're in charge of documenting. See, in marketing, data is important. I'm saying this again for emphasis. Data is important. And when you can be able to understand data, you can be able to track it, because data is what will show you what is working. So this week you did this and it gave you this results in numbers. Like when I mean data, I mean numbers. I don't know if you get my points. Like, okay, let's use the most basic Twitter analytics. Twitter analytics shows you numbers. That's what it shows you. You had 28K impressions this week in the past 7 days. You had 120 likes. Those are numbers. If you can be able to understand numbers, if you can be able to understand, okay, what brought in this particular type of impression or this particular type of TVL number in this past week, you will now understand where to channel. You'll be able to know, okay, this is what is working. Like right now, I know what to do to bring in more profile visits for a project Twitter account. Let me just tell you one way. One very simple way is just by joining spaces with that project account. Joining spaces, we tend to make not just anyhow space. You don't even necessarily need to speak on the space, but speaking to is a very big plus. Okay, so most projects, you can just join spaces, maybe up to 5 to 10 per day. We are not speaking on the space, you're just joining it. Because of that, people tend to see, when you join spaces and all, it tends to show people that are active on that space. We tend to see it and be like, let me even check what's this project. Maybe they see a very fine logo, and the thing is, you must have a nice logo. Your profile must, like, maybe you may have a pinned tweet, your bio must be on point, your header must be on point, because once they click, they scan through it, and if it makes sense, they get to follow you. You see, the more profile visits, the more followers you get. Very simple, but you see how very simple it is, but then not many people know this. Okay, what next? I think we are, Jesus, this is 7:51. Do you know I'm not aware? Okay. The next thing I'll talk about, I think it will be the last. That's tracking. Tracking your data, analytics. How, I don't know. I think the assignment I will give is that go and study how to track data using Notion, like on Notion. Notion is a very comprehensive tool. Like you can do a lot with Notion. I don't know if most of us use Notion already, but if we don't, I want you to go on YouTube and look for videos on how to use Notion. Literally, you can you can do everything on Notion. You don't even need any external, maybe Google Docs or whatever. You can do everything on Notion. So Notion is a tool I would advise that we use to track. When I mean track, I mean document metrics, document strategies and whatnot. Okay, so as a marketer, you must know how to track data, because that is where everything lies. That is where you will see. You must know how to use pie charts, bar charts, or whatever charts, anyhow you even infographics or flow charts. Just learn it. You have to learn it and know how to use it, because you have to present these things to these projects. When they ask you, okay, what's working, you just have to show them the data, and from there they'll be like, okay, okay, okay. Sometimes it will look as if nothing is working. Like maybe everyone will just be dry, but then the data is where the answers lies. So you need to learn how to track. It is very important to be able to track data. Um, I don't know, based on the project, there are certain metrics that are peculiar to certain projects. So I may not be able to give some examples right now. Or we know the basic Twitter metrics: um, impressions, profile visits, follower, new follows, engagement rates. That's for just basic Twitter metrics. But then, depending on the project, right? Like I said earlier, depending on project, sometimes it is TVL, sometimes it is link clicks. Sometimes it is um user queries on a particular platform. Like I said, sometimes it could be number of people that is staking on that particular project, if it's a staking protocol. Okay, so you need to be able to track this data, whether they ask you for it or not. Tracking data will help you as a marketer know what is working. And also, don't be afraid to test new things. Like, just test. Like, when an idea just drops in your head, maybe if you need approval for it, sure. Some projects they'll tell you to be free, do whatever, test anything. Don't be afraid to test. You'll be surprised that what you're testing out is what may even work more than what you heard somewhere or something. So don't be afraid to test out new things, and also always track your data. You can use you can use Dune analytics to track. You can use pixels. I don't know if you're website friendly or if you have access to the website of the project. You can also use pixels or Google Analytics to track of off-chain behavior and conversion rates. When maybe you're promoting a link, a website link, you use it to track the user behaviors. You get to see people that came to the page, you get to see how long they stayed on the page, and all of those metrics, um, and whatnot. So I've spoken on different things. I don't know. This is already 7:55. I would love to take questions now. Maybe you have a particular question or you need answer to a particular thing. Just do well to ask your questions before we call it a night for today. Any question from anybody? Okay, I'm guessing there is no question then. Wait, hope I'm audible. This one. Please, you guys should say something. Okay, you have question. Yeah, please ask. Okay, I'm guessing you're trying to ask how to get. Okay, how to get a job as a beginner, because they'll be asking for past experiences. Okay, the way I I don't know, the way I became have my own portfolio in Web3 marketing was by volunteering. Because literally, like you said, nobody will want to get or employ somebody that is inexperienced. That's the sad fact. Except you intern. Maybe you meet a project and you just said, oh, I want to work as an intern for you. Or you may not meet a project, you may meet somebody that is a good marketer already. Okay, people have met me just to intern for me for portfolio. So you can meet a figure, maybe somebody you look up to that is a marketer in the space, and you tell the person, see, I just want to intern for you as a marketer for free. Whatever you're doing, just take me along, let me join you, give me tax. You get, now you're working with the person is working for a project and you're working with the person. Now with what you're doing, the results, you just get to note it down and add it to your portfolio. Okay, or you volunteer directly for a project, you work with a project and tell them, oh, I want to volunteer to work for you for free. You see, when that free is what we tell them, oh, what do I have to lose? Nothing, right? You get, so you get to work with them for free. What you're just doing, I'm not saying you work for free for forever, just work to get portfolio so that you can now say, okay, now I have a portfolio, these are the results I've been able to gather, you know and you have proof to show for it. So that's how you can get started. That's how I got started. I worked for free. Do you get? That's how you can also do the same and get your portfolio while starting out. Any other person? I hope I answered your question. I'm dad. Let me know if I answered your question. Hell. All right then. I think I would. Yeah. Okay. Good. All right then. Caleb. I'm done. You can take over now.
Okay, thank you so much, Victoria, for the session. And please, did you give them assignments? You could give them assignments. Okay, based on what we spoke, or if you have anything, and anything to give them as a take-home task, you could drop your handles, and how they can submit, and then you could end the session from there. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So the first assignment I'll be giving is let me just drop my hand first. That's at Toria Dixon. I'm dropping it in the comments or in the message. Toria Dixon can reach me there on X. That's my Twitter handle. So the first question is learn how to use certain marketing tools. I mentioned a few of them, so I'm just going to write cookie, doing analytics. Let me confirm the username. Hold on. So that's okay. Cookie3_com doing analytics. Then Notion. So the assignment here is understand how to use cookie, Dune Analytics, and Notion. Like understand how to read data from cookie and Dune. Then for Notion, understand how to document this data. So you'll be sending me a template for Notion. So go on YouTube and just search for how to navigate Notion. Okay, and then study it, then send me a template, a marketing template on Notion. There's a way you can do that. So you just have to search for it, learn it, and send it to me on my Twitter handle. So that's the assignment. Thank you. Caleb, are you there?
Okay, yes, yes. Okay, you're done, right?
Yes, yes, I am. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much, Teria. I really appreciate. Uh, okay, take a look at first weeks. Okay, Amdad, I've heard we're going to check out. I want to check it out. Right. So guys, we'll see you next week. Please do not turn in your assignments and reach out to Toria on X if you have any issues. Thank you. Thank you so much, Toria, for coming on board. We do not take this for granted. You can unmute yourself and tell her thank you. Right. Please. Unmute yourself, tell Toria thank you, and you can call it a shot. Yeah, yeah, alright. Thank you so much. Good night and have a nice week. Bye.